So I watched Dune 2 in theaters last night, and let me tell you what, woo! I gotta go see it again. I just watched it in regular theaters, not IMAX. I feel like the IMAXs here are just completely booked up for it, so we'll see about that. But let me just tell you, I've never wanted to watch a movie in theaters twice, except this one. So I'm still, trying to wrap my head around this movie. If you're not interested in Dune, then psh. But yeah, I really enjoyed it as a theater experience, especially. I have a couple more thoughts on it that I would like to share. First of all, let me just show you what I got. I got a hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, whopper. Food-wise, I got a hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, whopper, and this probably came out to like $15 or so. I don't know. But let's just get into it. I haven't had a McDonald's hamburger in ages. I mean, it's pretty damn basic, man. Who's really ordering this? Not bad, but I mean, a little afternoon snack. A little bit dry on this one. Not bad. Yeah, we'll be needing some water though. But yeah, Dune 2, man. I was a huge fan of Dune Part 1. The director is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite director in the game these days, you know what I mean? And Dune, here's the cheeseburger, by the way. McDonald's cheeseburger. Pretty much the same except with a piece of cheese. Definitely adds a lot. No reason to get a burger, just go for the cheeseburger. But I've been aware of Dune basically my whole life. My dad had a big old Dune. He had a huge science fiction collection, and obviously Dune was part of that collection. And I remember seeing it since I was a little kid, and always wondering about it. I never read the books. I was never really that interested in reading the book until I heard the first movie was coming out. And like I said, I'm just a big fan of the director, so. Got me super hyped to see that, and I watched that first movie like 5 times at home. And then Dune 2 did not disappoint for the most part. I don't think I'm going to give any spoilers away. This is not really going to be a review. Just a couple thoughts. Maybe a couple of things that I wish I had known before watching it, or that I would recommend you to know if you go and watch it. Which I think you should. But if you haven't seen Part 1 recently, or if you don't know the books, if you're a casual like me, rewatch Dune Part 1 before seeing Dune Part 2. That's what I did. So 2 nights ago I watched Dune Part 1 at home. Again. And then the next day, watched Dune Part 2. Since Dune 1 came out like 3 years ago, maybe you only watched it once when it first came out, or maybe you haven't seen it at all. Definitely watch it first. I would highly recommend that. Or watch it again before watching Dune 2. By the way, good old Big Mac is back. The other thing I would say, I think it would also aid in your enjoyment level if you went in with the right expectation. And what I'm talking about is this a part 2 of 2? Is it a part 2 of 3 or 4? I don't know. And I went in not knowing, because I did watch some like interviews with the director, and he was saying basically in a perfect world, his ideal situation would be to make it into a trilogy. The first 2 movies are going to be on the first Dune book, and then there's like a million sequels to first book. And then if he was able to, then he would make a part 3 movie after this first sequel of the book. A little confusing there, but the way he talked about it sounded like part 3 would maybe not happen and only happen in perfect circumstances. So I went in thinking this could be the last, you know, 2 of 2. But after watching it, I kind of realized if it ended like that and part 3 was not made, and I don't think it's been announced or whatever, even, I would be ticked off. I think you should go into it thinking of it as a part 2. I think part 3 will happen if the numbers are okay. I'm not a Dune shill over here, but I want to be just because I want to see that part 3. Anyway, the whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, so is this gonna end in this one, or is it gonna, you know, just be like the second of a trilogy, the middle part, you know? And I really wasn't sure basically the whole time. But, you know, yeah, I think if I went in knowing that this is not the end and that this was a middle movie, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more just because of the expectations, you know? Hollywood, it is what it is. I don't really know too much about it, but I can be a little bit cynical when it comes to it sometimes. So I remember Lord of the Rings, they filmed all 3 movies at the same time and then released them like back to back to back years. And that was like a huge risk, but paid off for everybody, I feel like. Now, I'll be waiting maybe 3-4 more years until Dune Part 3, and it's like, damn, man, bogus. So that's kind of bogus. I haven't had a Whopper in a minute. I feel like they changed the formula a little bit. This definitely tastes different. I think they've changed the bread. Does that look like a normal Whopper bun to you? I haven't even gathered my thoughts fully. I gotta watch it again. But right off the bat, obviously, like the cinematography, soundtrack, just the environments, it just took me away to another place. Being an adult, it is a little bit different, but I love the Lord of the Rings trilogies, watch those movies maybe, I don't know, 15 times each. I feel like this might be the modern day SF, science fiction equivalent, when it comes to movies. Can I say that? In terms of epicness, in terms of scale, in terms of how the movies are well made, with good music, good direction, good actors. Big fan of the Dune series. I'm about to just go ahead and read the damn book or books. But I don't want to know what happens. At this point, I'm more invested in the movies, so I don't really want to know what happens until I watch the 3rd movie. The Whopper is solid though. I feel like I could go much longer surviving just off Whoppers than I could Big Macs. Everything I said were just initial reactions, initial thoughts. So probably not the best takes here, but again, I would recommend those 2 things. You know, be familiar with the Dune 1 before going and watching Dune 2. Maybe watch it the day before like I did. And go into it knowing that it's a part 2 of more than just 2. Because I was unclear on that. So yeah, anyway, that's all I gotta say. Pretty good food right there, so I'm about to skate out of here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!